The tower building will soon be history. Find out why it's being taken apart piece by piece.
Good evening, I'm Heather Hobson. Stay tuned. GIS Spotlight is next. For the first time in Cayman's history, a building is being taken apart piece by piece. We wanted to know why government would use a wrecking ball or even an explosion to take down the tower building.
It is a very busy area, and one of the primary concerns here obviously is safety to the pedestrian traffic as well as the surrounding buildings. So we felt that the deconstruction process would provide the most safest environment for both of those entities.
We came in about the middle of March with the contract. We started taking out the interior work, all the drywall, all the partitions, and then we started cutting the roof and doing our demolition part of it. When you start off with the roof and all the different floors, we're cutting them in sections. So there's about 109 sections per floor that we physically have to remove with the crane. After those are removed, then we have the individual steel beams that need to be removed.
Dismantling the 6-story structure comes months after $125,000 was spent on preparations.
In our scope of work, we had a mitigation of risk requirement, one of which was heavily aimed towards protecting the pedestrian public and the surrounding buildings from any flying debris. As you can see, the site is relatively clean. All material is being taken off on a daily basis. Water is being used in a misting system to reduce the dust. I think we've taken just about every precaution possible to mitigate any of those risks. The assessment that we had done from the certified industrial hygienist came back in his report and indicated that the only asbestos in the building was contained within the mastic or the glue used for some of the vinyl tile. Now that type of asbestos is considered encapsulated within the glue, and the fact that we're using a wet saw to cut this concrete up in strips as opposed to using a wrecking ball or a jackhammer, we further reduce any spreading of any dust or that fibers that might have been in the mastic.
Originally, the Central Tenders Committee awarded the contract to McAlpine Limited. The company withdrew its bid due to operational issues with the subcontractor. The CTC then gave the $600,000 job to KM Limited.
Before a tender can be let, you have to have bid specifications, and part of the process that we went through was a risk assessment. We hired an industrial hygienist to evaluate the components inside of the building and then developed a bid specification that went out to tender through the CTC.
The tower building once housed several government departments. Hurricane Ivan badly damaged the structure, and the building sat vacant ever since. The construction crew will rip apart 60,000 square feet of steel, concrete, and other materials. The truckloads of debris won't be hauled to the dump. Instead, the waste will be recycled.
We actually started our due diligence on bringing this building down last May. And through our interviews with the consultants that designed the building, we brought them back in and had them show us how we could best disassemble the building without creating a lot of dust and maximize the use of the structural steel and the interior components for recycling.
As large amount as possible is being recycled. I mean, we're with the concrete stuff, we're taking it to different fill sites. With the steel, we have an option of either taking it back to the States and recycling it, or we're trying to use it here on island, avoiding it going to the landfill site.
Currently, the webcam is located here on the corner of the Harbor Center roof. The URL is currently uploading the live stream to an FTP site where we'll compile this information and create a future time-lapse high-speed video that will show the building coming down over a period of a couple minutes. Showing the project from start to finish is an interest to everyone that, as you mentioned, may have only seen a bit or piece of it. It also gives us as the supervising entity for the government to ensure that all of the policies and procedures that we put in place are being followed. It gives us that eye in the sky remote monitoring capability.
The tower building will be leveled by June, leaving behind an empty lot. No word on what will happen with the property in the future.